Okay, now this integral involves square roots and reciprocals, so again it's one that's going to require a rewrite. So the original is the integral from 1 to 2 4 root x minus 10 over x squared plus 5 dx. Okay, so let's go through the different steps here. So it's going to be a rewrite first of all. Just like with differentiation, if we have to integrate, then anytime we're integrating a square root or a reciprocal, we're going to rewrite the problem. So that's going to be 4x to the power of 1/2 minus 10x to the power of minus 2 plus 5 dx. Now we haven't integrated yet, and we're going to do that right now. So remember, when you integrate, that elongated s symbol is going to go away. And it's going to be 4, increase the power on the x, so it becomes 3 over 2 divided by 3 over 2, minus 10x to the power of minus 1 divided by minus 1, plus 5x. Now, we have limits this time, so we're not talking about the plus c. Instead, we're going to need the 2 and the 1 here. Okay, so let's simplify this before we try and put in the numbers. So it's going to be 4 divided by 3 over 2. So 4 divided by 3 over 2 is 4 multiplied by 2 over 3, and that's 8 over 3. And that's going to be the square root of x cubed. Okay. Minus 10 divided by minus 1. Minus over minus is plus. 10 over 1 is 10 over x. Plus 5x, and that's going to be from 1 to 2. Now, so we've simplified the integral, and what we need to do now is plug in the top limit first, and then we're going to plug in the bottom limit. So this is going to become 8 over 3 times the square root of 2 cubed plus 10 over 3 plus, 10 over 2, I beg your pardon, 10 over 2 plus 5 times 2. So that's what happens when you plug in the first number. And then we are going to subtract, and we're going to plug in the second number. So it's going to be 8 over 3 times the square root of 1 cubed, which is going to be fine. Plus 10 over 1 plus 5 times 1. Okay, so let's break this down. We'll just go to one color of pen from here on in. Again, so 2 cubed is 8, so it's the cube root of, it's the square root of 8. That's 8 root 8 over 3. We could simplify root 8, plus make it 2 root 2, but there's no need to do that quite yet. Plus 10 over 2 is 5, and 5 times 2 is 10, minus 8 over 3, root 1 cubed is just going to be 1, so that's minus 8 over 3 plus 10 plus 5. So it looks like we're going to have 8 root 8 over 3 plus 5 plus root 10, and then minus all of this, 8 over 3 plus 10 plus 5. So we're subtracting the 10 and the 5 again, so they'll cancel out. So what we're going to be left with is 8 root 8 over 3 minus 8 over 3, and we can simplify that by factoring out the 8 over 3 and make it root 8 minus 1. Okay, so it'll be interesting to check whether or not that's right, but at the minute it looks like it's 8 over 3 times the square root of 8 minus 1. Okay, so let's call back the original problem, and let's do it on our calculator. So we had to integrate, so math 9, and it's 4 times the square root of x minus 10 divided by x squared plus 5. Okay, comma, we want to declare that x is a variable. The bottom limit is 1, and the top limit is 2. Okay, so if we press enter on that, we get 4.875. Now, if we remember that, and then we'll get rid of this for a second, so scroll down just to find our answer. Apologies for that. We have 8 root 3, so just check whether this is the same thing. So 8 over 3 times the square root of it minus 1. It's going to be embarrassing if it doesn't work, but you can see that they are in fact the same thing, correct to a certain number of decimal places, maybe 9 decimal places there at least. So again, the benefit of doing it by hand is it gives you a more accurate answer. 8 over 3 times the square root of 8 minus 1 is exactly the right answer. 4.8758056, as the calculator gives you, is obviously an approximation and has a rounding error, but both are fine and correct to 3 decimal places. The calculator's version is perfectly acceptable, but we should be able to do it both ways. Okay, thanks for watching and for giving me your time.